there, my name is Belinda Dubston and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our weekly overview. And in this one, our weekly overview for the week commencing the 21st of March, 2022. So last week we had a locked hexagram. We had hexagram 5, waiting, all about doubling down on patience and preparation because the rains are coming. So what were you preparing? What were you building? What aqueducts were you building and irrigation systems to get ready to capture the rain that is wanting to come into your life? What was the thing you were waiting for? Did you become aware, as I suggested, to the area of frustration that was drawing your attention to the place of irritation, frustration, and wanting things to be faster than they are? And how did it resolve itself? Is it still in the air? Is the cloud still coming? Where are you at this week as we commence? Right, so let's have a look at the week ahead, the 21st of March. What are we being asked to pay attention to this week? And we have, yes, another locked hexagram, a doubling down, an intensification of this is it. Pay all your attention to this thing. This is going to guide and inspire you for the week ahead. So this week we have hexagram 54, Marrying Maiden. Ooh, we have had this hexagram so much over the last year that I think it's guiding us in thinking about some of the areas we are growing up in. And certainly this week, the I Ching is asking us to focus on this because there's something that needs to come to our awareness, something around this energy and flow of change that is wanting to help us grow and see things in a new way and to maximize what it is we can do with this week. What is the initiating spark that we see this week through this hexagram that's going to help us move closer to our goals? Now, this hexagram is an ancient old story of a young lady who is married into the royal line as a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth wife down in the queue. She's not the queen bee. Okay. And so what happens is we learn to accept, as this young maiden has to learn to accept, that a sudden change in events has put her into a totally new life situation. She was maybe, quite senior in her own family, and now she's married off into this family and she has very little power. Okay, she's secondary in power. She doesn't have the ability to influence the course of events. You can imagine if this was you, whatever you are, okay, being the symbolic young maiden being married off into another family and not having power. Okay, so there is so much in this hexagram that we can work with. On one level this week, our attention is being drawn to where we are secondary in power. We don't have queen bee status. We don't have the ability to influence things as directly as we would like. We can't push. We have to take a secondary position and behave well in this structure we find ourselves in. A corporate type business structure is often a great way of understanding this, where you are maybe a team leader, but there are other executive team members who are making decisions that impact you, and you are unable to influence those decisions even though you have great ideas and great insight that could help. We've all been in situations in our working career where we found ourselves in such a position of so-called disempowerment. Now, the thing with this hexagram is that it says there are big cycles of change taking place. In fact, we cannot actually see or appreciate the scale of what's happening. And so what we have to do is we have to behave well, okay? Behave well in the hierarchy and trust the process. Because this hexagram, what actually transpires for this young maiden is that despite her parent situation of being disempowered and being thrust into a totally new circumstance where she's not queen bee, in time she gives birth to the future heir of the throne, who brings in a bounteous change in the history of ancient China, in this case, in this story, and heralds in her purpose. But it only becomes apparent much, much later. So with this hexagram, what seems like a change, which seems like a step down, if you've been demoted or shuffled into a new place where you no longer had the authority you had before, what happens is we have to learn to accept the new place we are. We can't live in that other place where we had other power. But this hexagram is saying, do not fear. The forces of change, the flow, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is getting you into position, okay? Is getting you closer to where you need to be so that you can fulfill your highest plan and purpose in this lifetime, in this moment, in this job, in this relationship. So trust the process, trust a sudden change in life circumstances, trust that things move around, the pieces move around like the staircases in Harry Potter, right? They keep on moving around and we are being shuffled into position as if we were on a puzzle being shuffled into the ultimate winning spot. We just can't see it yet. So if you struggle to trust the process, if you get your sense of control by being in charge, this is going to be very frustrating. This is a spiritual development, a personal development journey this I Ching hexagram brings to us of learning how to trust that there's a bigger process playing out that's beyond what we can appreciate or see, and we are part of the puzzle and we're being moved into position, all right, like a slider puzzle. We're being moved into position to get us to where we need to really be, to really make a meaningful impact and difference. Right. Doubling down this week. Let us trust the process. Let's be open and aware of the change that's being shuffled around. Okay, where are we being maneuvered into new spaces? And just be at peace. Trust that your higher self, your whatever, okay, is getting you to where you need to be. This is not a punishment. Okay, so good luck with the week. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, and when you do subscribe, just remember to click that little bell icon, because that means that into your YouTube app, you're going to get a little notification that a new episode has arrived. And likewise, if you're on the podcast, that new episode comes into your podcast app every week. So thank you. I'll see you on the socials. Have an awesome, trust-infused week. And I will see you very soon for our next weekly overview.